What up, everybody? And welcome once again to the Endzone, brought to you by Gym Bag Entertainment. And this is your football show by guys that love football. As always, it's your host, your boy Craig, here with my co-host,
your boy Ace.
And we have a nice little show for you today. Put some stuff together for you. First and foremost, Buffalo Bills go ahead and make a move to sign Josh Norman to add them to the defensive backs. And personally, I kind of like this move right here. You know,
I do too. I think it's a good move for Baltimore because they got to beef up on the defense side of things. Mm-hmm. So I don't see that as a bad move to try to go get some defensive guys because they're already – so it seems like they're going to put their money into maybe like an offensive guy or two. That's why they're trying to get a couple of defensive guys. But I think they're going to throw a big bag at like a receiver or something.
I think it's dope that they made this move because you already have White as your shutdown corner, and even though kind of like Sherman, you know, Norman's he might not be the greatest shutdown corner anymore, but with help with where he don't need to be,
he can play his position.
He can play his position, and he can get help over the top with the safety. I think that I think it makes it very difficult to pass the ball.
Yeah, because you don't expect for him to sit there and man to man and chase people all around the field. That's not what he can do at this day and age. But do I expect him to sit back in zone and play great defense and maybe get a couple interceptions and stuff? For sure.
Yeah. So I think this is just what Buffalo needs. And I mean, personally, if they can add one more like top tier wide receiver, you know, I know I brought up the fact that signing Amari Cooper would be huge for them. But even the likes of AJ Green, just someone who can help John Brown and Cole Beasley move the ball. I think they're keeping Reuben Foster, so that can give them a little help there too. But I do like the signing of Josh Norman. You know, can't be a fan of Buffalo, but can be a fan of the moves that they're making to better football. Next on the list is something that baffled my mind is the Cowboys go to Dak Prescott with a deal. They're offering him a 3-year deal. Yeah. They give him
because I know you're not gonna like it.
I don't like it. They give him a 3-year deal, $105 million guaranteed, and over the course of 3 years, it averages out to about $33 million a year for 3 years, and he turned it down. What?
Has he turned it down yet?
I mean,
no. It's just the offer that they came and get. I didn't hear that he turned it down.
Well, they have to. I just read something that said that they have to bring a new offer to him. So if they have to come up with a new offer, then this offer was a no-go.
And that was a 3-year offer.
That was the 3-year offer. I think he wants 5, and I think I don't know, man.
See, for me personally, I would say, if it is true that he denied this offer, it's very disappointing.
Yeah.
Due to the simple fact is it's like, I vouched for you all year to get paid, and now they came and gave you a chance to get paid and you denied it. So I'm not feeling that.
No.
But when I read it, I just thought that they offered him that much money, and that was a deal that they put on the table for him, and there hasn't been any talk since. So if it's like that, if that's the deal that they put on the table and it hasn't been talked since, and that's what it is, then he still got a chance to get that money. Get that money, bro. But if it's like you said, whereas like he denied that, you're an idiot.
See,
you know what I'm saying?
When I read it, don't quote me on this, but they had talked to his agent, and it was like a 30-minute meeting.
Okay.
And then now they're setting up a new meeting. It's going to be a longer, more serious meeting where they're going to reevaluate this contract offer. So he might not have officially been like, no, but might have been like,
what's inside that contract?
Yeah,
what's
like
the negotiation parts of it?
I need to read the fine print, and I think I want more than 3 years. 105 might be good guaranteed money, but maybe I want more years attached to it, but the same amount.
105 for 3 years, you got to take that and go,
man.
Because if anything, you just gotta save your money and be good.
$33 million a year is way more than Dak Prescott's worth, man. I don't care what anybody says.
I totally. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Do I believe that that's an overpay? Yes.
Yeah.
Totally overpay. But in this day and age of the NFL, how quarterbacks is getting paid,
correct,
and the stats that he's been putting up, it's not an overpay, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, he's getting paid like Aaron Rodgers is getting 33.5.
Okay, but this is the Aaron Rodgers is also older.
But he just got his deal.
I know, but now you got the new generation quarterbacks out. You're about to start seeing buku numbers with the new generation.
Of course, but once Patrick Mahomes gets paid, it's going to be crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little bit different from because the numbers that you hear is like, oh, this is absurd, $100 million. But let's not forget, like they paid worse players and worse QB. Let's say QBs.
Yeah. They
paid worse QBs equal to or a little bit more than that.
I don't know about worse more because before the new run of pays, like the three highest paid is first Russell, then Big Ben, and then it's Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff. So, all right, Jared Goff is getting paid a little bit more than him.
What about
than his offer?
Him.
But all the other guys are in the 25s, like Garoppolo, Matt Stafford, Derek Carr. They're all in around 25 mil.
And all those guys right there, technically, they should be at like 9 to 10 mil.
Oh, well, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So that's what I'm saying. Like in this day, like those guys, half of those guys ain't even gonna be quarterbacks this year. So it's like, you get what I'm saying? In this day and age, when I don't feel like I feel like it's not a lot of money right now, but is it an overpay? Yes, but you got to understand this man always lead the league in different accolades and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like he is a legit
he did
quarterback.
Have one of the highest yards for the season.
Yeah, so it's like
he was almost at 5,000.
Yeah, so it's like if I'm going based off of what he's done in the NFL, is that worth it? Yes, for sure. Okay. Because there's people that haven't put up close to what he's put up. That touch a lot of bread. You get what I'm saying?
And he doesn't give the ball away that much. I don't know. The most I would give Dak a year, I think, would be like between 27 and 30 million a year. I think like all season long, I was saying 25 mil a year.
I know, and that's why I started laughing and did that because I know once I saw this, I'm like, oh, Craig off rip is gonna say this is an overpay, and I'm like, I agree. To a point,
but based on what people are getting and what they're doing,
he deserves it. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yes, I would agree with Craig and say, hey, on the show, I was already thinking like, hey, on this show, I gotta let Craig know, yes, this is an overpay, but what these quarterbacks just think about what the quarterbacks over the last 4 or 5 years that signed contracts and what those contracts was. Yeah. And half of them didn't even have
make the playoffs.
You get what I'm saying?
They didn't make the 6 highest paid quarterbacks didn't even make the playoffs.
So now you have a quarterback who actually puts up good stats, makes the playoffs and stuff like that. Pay him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I see it as. Like that's the best way to put it.
We'll see.
I can't vouch for you, Dak, because I don't know the situation. Craig got me scared over here now. You got question marks by me.
Yeah, man. We'll see what happens in the coming days. We'll keep you updated. Now I want to talk about one team from each division that has an opportunity to make a couple moves to get themselves into the playoffs this year that didn't make it this past year. And let's just start off with our division and talk about these New York Jets. I think that they have a lot of the pieces they need, but I think the thing that they're missing most is just that, like, first of all, if their offensive line is not in great shape. Le'Veon Bell's not getting to run the ball, but I think they're missing a star wide receiver.
See what you just said? Mm-hmm. You helped yourself just now by saying how you put it. You just helped yourself because number one thing is this: with the New York Jets, they got to see what they're gonna do with Robbie Anderson. That's number one.
Who wants to stay? He said it.
But if it's me, if I'm GM, because I like playing GM a lot, I'm signing him. But then I'm also letting him know, like, hey, I'm bringing you help. And me saying I'm bringing you help, I'm going out there to get a good receiver because you can't have a run game without a pass game. So I would say, is the New York Jets offensive line trash? No. They was okay. But it's easy to stop a run when you only have to worry about one receiver killing you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So now if you go out there and you get another receiver, now that opens up your run game and your pass game a little bit more than what it was.
Agree.
You get what I'm saying? You were exposing more to your offense than you did last year. So like you said, sign Robbie Anderson. Go get a legit receiver. There's plenty of them out there that you can sign right now.
They can draft a guy who's legit, man. Like, you can get CeeDee Lamb.
I think I'm totally with you on drafting a guy, but with the Jets, I think they kind of need a older receiver.
Okay.
Like an AJ Green.
Like an AJ Green, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like someone that can come in with that swag and change that mentality with the receiver core.
Yeah.
Because that receiver core has no identity. You get what I'm saying?
Seriously. I mean, even Jamison Crowder kind of came into his own on the Jets. I feel like Jamison Crowder had his best season on the Jets.
Because the Jets has no identity with the team, so you can go in there and be whoever you want to be, and you be okay. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But so say if you bring a young guy like a CD Lamb, would he develop right away? I think he have average stats, but I don't think he would be the same CD Lamb if he plays with like a Des Bryant or AJ Green for 1 year.
This is
you know
true.
what I'm saying? He'd be a whole different CD Lamb.
Des Bryant to the Jets isn't a terrible idea. He's not going to be your star.
No,
but he could
he's
definitely
give you that. He's going to give you that
the leadership,
that knowledge that you need,
and the knowledge, yeah. And he's still a guy who can contest the shot, can contest the pass. So I like that a lot. AJ Green I like a lot. I wouldn't hate the idea of Amari Cooper. I don't want Amari Cooper in my division unless it's on the Patriots. But as a football fan, I gotta say when there's guys like that available, you should be going after.
Now since we're on that, like I feel bad for someone like Amari Cooper right now because like if you're on the Cowboys or if you're on the Patriots and you're a free agent, I feel bad for you right now due to the simple fact is no moves is being made till they figure out what moves is gonna happen with these quarterbacks.
Yes,
you get what I'm saying. So it's kind of like every day you wake up, you're like, oh, okay, I can watch ESPN and see what they're going to do with Tom Brady. Has anything been done? Like, I know as a free agent, I know these guys are sitting at home like, yo, please sign. Please sign. So I can figure out what I can do. What's my next move?
Yep.
These guys are sitting at home not knowing their next move because of
where they're going to live.
Where you're going to live, what you're going to do, how you're going to make ends meet, what team you're going to go to, how much money they're going to offer you. Am I going to take a pay cut? Do I want to play somewhere sunny and nice or cold? Like, all these things is coming into factor, and the more time you have to sit and think about it, like think about it. Tom Brady's not making a decision for another probably week or two.
At least.
You get what I'm saying? Because he's going to go through the free agency process. Dak, who knows? He's a question mark right now, but shit, if Dak wants the proper help that he can get, he got to sign this contract now in order to sign Amari Cooper right now because if you prolong it, someone's going to snatch Amari Cooper because I don't think Amari Cooper's going to wait. Yeah. He's not going to keep on waiting. As much as he wants to be in Dallas, if he has the chance to go to another team in a better situation, I think he would go. No problem.
I agree. But so I said last year, I thought the Jets were going to – I didn't think it was going to be Buffalo. I thought it was going to be the Jets that made the playoffs this year. But, but I think that the Jets, if they make the right decisions, I think they can make that move.
Yep.
Let's talk about Jacksonville. I like the idea of going with, the magic mustache, Gardner Minshew, as your starting quarterback. There's a lot of talk about whether or not they're going to trade away Nick Foles. I think that's a mistake. I think you should keep Nick Foles not only as the backup, but competition to keep Gardner Minshew on his toes. I mean, we said it I think we said it. I know I said it. I don't think Nick Foles is a starting quarterback. I think he's a superb backup, but I don't necessarily believe he's a starter. I think he's a guy he could be used as a transition quarterback, but I don't think he's the guy who's going to be your number one guy. And I like I like what Gardner Minshew brings to the table, but what else can they do? Because I think that
right there, what you said, I agree to disagree to a certain extent because I like Nick Foles a lot.
Yeah,
and you're absolutely right. I think he is a better backup quarterback. And not just to say that he's a better backup quarterback. It's just to say like he's just really not a star of the caliber yet. Like, but is he better than Gardner Minshew? You get what I'm saying?
Is he? Because I don't think he is.
That's the question I have. Like you don't, but 5 other people could think so. You get what I'm saying?
Correct.
So it's kind of like in Jacksonville, it's either Nick Foles should be a starter there or Nick Foles got to go.
Oh.
You can't have one or the other. Due to the simple fact is like this. As a GM, you paid him too much money already.
Yeah.
So it's like, why am I going to have all that money sitting on the bench?
Yeah.
So I got to trade you away in order to get something for you, unless I'm going with you as a starter. They got to
do a Brock Osweiler dump where they dump salary caps. Someone like Miami says, I'll take 50% of his salary cap and you give me a second-round pick or something like that.
There you go.
So
because it's like you're never going to, if you want to QB identity over there, you're never going to progress in that situation, whereas Gardner Minshew is on a rookie contract.
A low rookie contract.
A low rookie contract.
He got drafted late.
So Gardner Minshew's probably making somewhere around like $2-3 million a year.
I think that's even a lot.
And that might even be a lot.
Yeah.
Think about someone like Nick Foles who's making
$22 million
a year. So okay, I got a guy sitting on the bench making $22 million a year, while this guy's making in between $1 to $3 million a year, who's my starter. I got to dump this $22 million a year and maybe go get a rookie trade up, go get a rookie QB, but you're gonna have to bring an older person in to help them out. Because like I'm all about and you made me realize this. I'm all about bringing in an older guy to help a younger guy out, depending on what's the team, what's the identity of the team.
Yep.
And in New England, you don't need that. You got enough great coaches to do that. San Fran, same thing. Like, you don't need to go in and have a player development. But some of these low teams with no identity needs that. And I think that's needs to happen in Jacksonville. And they might have to beef up on their defense a little bit because they've been getting rid of defensive guys too.
You know what? Just a thought just occurred to me. I know we both like this guy. Neither one of us thinks he's great, but I think we both like this guy. And I think he has a similar style to Gardner Minshew. How cool would it be for Miami to trade Ryan Fitzpatrick for Nick Foles? They give up Fitzpatrick, send him as a backup to Gardner, and they have similar styles. They play with grit.
Yes.
They play for fun. They play with a lot of heart.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
This dude might mess around and take that starting spot.
And all the better. Yeah. All the better for Jacksonville if he takes that job.
He ain't taking second fiddle to none. So,
he's
going to go out there and ball. So.
Exactly.
And that definitely will push guys.
That would inspire true confidence, right? And whenever it comes where they have to switch up, you're not going to, not much is going to change. Yeah. It's not going to change the game. So I think that I almost love that idea. Like, take that salary cap of Nick Foles, send Ryan Fitzpatrick over there. If he wins the job, more power to him. If he doesn't win the job, you still ain't sitting on $22 million on your bench. And you can bring Gardner Minshew along nicely. Now you're only sitting like $3 to $5 million on your bench. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It changes. I love that idea.
So that's how I feel about Jacksonville. Like, it's either you keep Nick Foles or you trade him. Yeah. And in that trade, you better get something like you're saying, half salary cap off, extra trade in this year's draft. I mean, extra pick in this year's draft. It got to be something
to take it on.
Yeah, so I know, because then now going into the draft, now my mindset shifts to going to get a quarterback. Mm-hmm. What's the fifth, sixth best quarterback available in the draft? Yeah, that's my mindset. Exactly. I'm not gonna get into the top 3, but what about 4, 5, and 6? Mm-hmm. You know, like, could I steal one of them in the draft and bring them along? And like you said, I already would have a trade from Miami. Bring this guy over, Fitzpatrick, and boom. Now you got 3 quarterbacks. Yep. A young guy, 2 young guys, and an older guy. I think that with Jacksonville, too, I think they found their star wide receiver in DJ Chark. I like that kid. He's a baller. You know, if he can stay healthy for a season, D.D. Westbrook seems like a good slot option. And, you know, even though he's kind of off and on, what's the other receiver? This is going to be his 3rd year. He had that dope catch against us in the playoffs. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. That they're number 3, man. I can't even think of his name. I'm so mad. I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, they got a good wide receiver core. But I also think that the other thing that they're missing is a tight end. They don't got one. Well, they don't got a tight end you can even talk about. Yeah, you could say that they're missing a tight end, but they don't even really utilize their tight end in their offense. They never have. But they'd rather spread you out nowadays and do it like that. So do they add more wide receiver help? Maybe grab another rookie? Because they got young wide receivers. I think it would be a mistake to bring in an old head. Honestly, in that situation, I would bring in a younger receiver or a younger tight end. Maybe like a Thaddeus Moss if I can get him. He'll fit perfectly over there. But I'm shifting my focus more so on the defense side of things, giving up a Bayou and, you know what I'm saying, and Ramsey. So it's like, after losing those 2 cornerbacks, I'm going to beef up on my defensive side of things more, so focus on the offense. Keelan Cole. Keelan Cole. I like him. And you know what? I just passed. They also had Chris Conley. Their wide receiver. You know what? Their wide receiver core is deep as hell. You don't. It's deep as hell. They need to focus on defense. Think about it. Over the last year, they got rid of 2 of their best guys on defense. Yep. So it's like, go out there and go get you some DBs. There's plenty out there in this year's draft. You once had the best defense in the league for a single season. Yeah. Time to get back to that. Go back to your old ways. And that's what got you into the playoffs in the first place was your high-level defense. You know, I think maybe your offense is set. Maybe you stick with Gardner Minshew. Maybe you do try to make a move for, like I said, Ryan Fitzpatrick, but get your defense back on track. And maybe that also means bringing on a new defensive coordinator. It could.
You know, we talk a lot about players, and you know, sometimes we do talk about coaches because you know I've ranted on coaches before. But I mean, how do you have all this talent on defense, but all of a sudden your defense is trash? I don't get it.
That's how it goes.
A team that I think fell so far from grace, I can't even believe it's true, that I think is in line to shoot back up is the Los Angeles Chargers.
Facts.
So.
So with the Chargers, everybody knows the monkey in the room with the Chargers is they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
They already have all the essential pieces that they need.
Yeah.
They just lack the QB position. And
not just a QB, a game-winning, playoff contending, clutch quarterback. You can't just get a quarterback. You had a quarterback who was good, and he couldn't get the job done.
I feel like he couldn't get the job done because, again, he was in disguise most of his career.
Mm-hmm.
He was always surrounded by great talent, LT and these type of guys. So he was always protected. But now when you had to step up and be the man for your team as that quarterback position, he couldn't do it.
No.
And that's the difference of being a leader quarterback and being a system quarterback. He's more so of a system guy. So watch what he does on another team. It's not going to be nothing nice.
Nothing.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I don't think he'll be special.
He only probably have another year or two left in the league.
I have this weird feeling he's going to end up on the Colts and fighting Jacoby Brissett.
And that'd be
for the
their worst
starting
mistake.
job. I think so too. I think moving on from Jacoby Brissett this early is a huge mistake.
Worst mistake.
So we'll see what happens there. But I agree with you. They have every piece that they need. Even if they lose Melvin Gordon, they prove they can do it.
Running back, no problem.
No, but they have Austin Eckler and they have Justin Jackson.
Actually, since you said that, I'm glad you said that because I almost forgot. They are getting rid of Gordon because they just signed Eckler to a longer deal.
And Eckler did not get big money, man. He got like $4 million a year.
Yeah. So if they signed a running back, that just tells me that they're gonna part ways from Melvin Gordon. But it's like, again, free agency's on the shambles because the top quarterbacks did no move. So it's like, okay, I have Melvin Gordon, but I can't offer him out to nobody because I don't know what nobody's doing right now.
Well, they can't offer him to nobody because he can't. Even if they know what they're gonna do, they can't offer him nothing. He's free agent.
Yeah, but get rid of him.
Yeah.
Let him go. You could do that, but you know how they do it in the NFL and businesses.
Yeah, because they could try to sign him and then trade him. Yeah,
it's gonna be I'm gonna give you this, but you gotta look out for me for this. You know what I'm saying? I'll allow that, but in the back run,
you gotta do something for me.
So they're gonna get something for him if they decide to let him go or trade him or however it be. But, yeah, they don't have to do much. So whoever they get is just a bonus to their team because their team, like you said, is already set.
I said before, and I've changed a little bit, but there's only two teams I want to see Teddy Bridgewater go to, and it's the Chargers or Tampa Bay. I think those are the two teams that give him the best opportunity to win, and I actually would like Tampa Bay just because it gives him ability to compete against Drew Brees for a season, kind of give him that. And it's a very similar team going on there. But I don't know. The Chargers, if the Chargers get the right quarterback, they can make it into the playoffs.
And them guys actually just got Tyson. They just signed Tyson Hill too.
Taysom Hill? The Saints?
Yeah.
Next on this list in AFC is Cleveland. What are we thinking for Cleveland? Because with Cleveland, you do have everything, but you can't do nothing with it. You changed your coach. Was that the only answer?
Cleveland's problem is Cleveland is the biggest disappointment probably in the last 15, 20 years in the NFL.
It's the biggest disappointment I've ever seen.
Because it's like you go like last year, you can't say they need to make moves because they already did all of that last year. They already brought in top caliber players. You could say coaching, but we can't say that until we see what happens this year. You could say upper management. You could say a lot of things, but it's just a lot of questions because we don't have the answer to a lot of the questions that they're doing. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like
I don't know what happened there. I don't know how you have a top 5 wide receiver, a top 15, maybe top 20 wide receiver, a top 5 running back. Technically, halfway through the season, another top 5 running back, at least top 10.
Decent quarterback.
You have
the best, but he's decent.
You have a quarterback who can sling the ball, an offensive line that isn't terrible, and then a pretty awesome defense, and you can't win games. I don't even think they went They didn't even go 500.
I think it's more so like egos.
You might be right.
You know, like they're not. You know, like it's different when you're on a team and you guys are cool and you're boys, but it's different when you're on the team and you're just on the team.
Yeah,
I think a lot of those guys is just on the team.
I feel you. I think, to me personally, what I think needs to happen is you need to make 2 big moves. 1, trade Odell Beckham and get a high draft pick. You probably get a first rounder for him. 2, trade Kareem Hunt. You probably can get a first round draft pick for him. Now
would
that's
you do that, but would you, not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
would you do that right now, knowing that you just got rid of your coach and you want to try things out?
Yes.
The first part.
No, I am dumping Odell. I am dumping Kareem Hunt because it's going to get me 2 first round draft picks. You don't need Kareem Hunt because Nick Chubb is the man. He's the man. He was top 5 running back this season, getting all the yards. You don't need Kareem Hunt. Odell Beckham did not do anything to help your team, so now it's time to move on. I say you dump those guys. You go and get yourself some young boys, maybe some defensive players or some offensive linemen.
I disagree on that.
Yeah? Why though? What do you need Kareem? Why do you need Kareem Hunt?
You need Kareem Hunt because there's no one team in the league that just got one running back.
No, but there are teams that only have 1 star, and that's pretty much every team.
Has 1 star, but in Cleveland, you just said yourself, both of those guys are stars. You get what I'm saying? Both of those running backs over there are stars. So it's kind of like
sometimes in the backfield, too many stars in the backfield doesn't always work out well.
You got 2 different style of runners. You got a first and second down runner, and then you got a third down back that can catch passes up the backfield. Depending if it's 3rd and 2, yeah, Chubb, you're playing all 3 downs. But if it's 3rd and 5,
Kareem Hunt's is a 3 down back.
Yeah, but I saw more so at Kareem Hunt as a 3rd down back, and Nick Chubb.
Because
if I'm coaching, Chubb will be my first and second down back, and if it's 3rd and short, Chubb, you're staying in. If it's 3rd and long, then Kareem Hunt, you're coming in. That's how I would personally do it. But I see it as this. Only reason why I say I disagree because all those guys just got there last year. You got rid of your coach. So I'm kind of like this year, I'll give everybody a clean slate and see what we can do this year with this team because we can make the playoffs and then all that talk about last year is over with. But to pull the plug on these guys so quick, I wouldn't pull the plug after 1 year. After changing the coach, but if that coach, if that coach stayed over there, then if he got rid of Kareem Hunt and Odell, all right, cool. But bringing in a new coach and getting rid of that type of talent, that ain't gonna help you as a new coach.
I guess
you get what I'm saying.
I think you could bring on guys like, for instance, a hypothetical for me would be like, all right, I'm gonna send Kareem Hunt to the team that needs him the most, Miami Dolphins. They don't got a run game. Miami Dolphins has 3 first round picks. They're gonna give me one of those bad boys for Kareem Hunt.
Says who though? Because Miami's on some other stuff.
Yeah,
Miami's playing bully ball right now. Everybody
getting Kareem Hunt is better than anything they're gonna get in that first round. Kareem Hunt is an all-star.
I know this, but the way we saw what Miami did this year with their team, I don't think they really want him. I don't think they really would want him.
I think they would. But anyway, well, let's just say they do.
Yeah.
You get a first-round pick from Miami for Kareem Hunt. You're talking about a draft pick inside of the teens. Okay, cool. Now you got that. And then you go ahead and you pick up like a Carlos Hyde or Jordan Howard as your 3rd down back but you don't need someone who's that great. You just need someone who can catch passes out of the backfield. And Carlos Hyde is good at that. He catches passes. He's good. We can do that. Then you trade away Odell Beckham to a team that needs him, whether it's New England or the Jets or Buffalo or any of these, Arizona, who will throw you a first-round draft pick for a wide receiver of that caliber. Now you have 3 first-round draft picks all in the first half of the draft. I mean, you can get yourself a high-level backup quarterback to make competition for Baker Mayfield. You can get yourself a nice young wide receiver like CeeDee Lamb or Henry Rugg, and you can grab yourself either an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. I think that's more valuable to your team than Odell Beckham and Kareem Hunt based on what I saw last year.
It all sounds great, Craig, but
it ain't going to happen.
It's not going to happen that way. And if it was to happen that way, you're setting up a CeeDee Lamb's career to be filled because Cleveland already has mad young dudes over there. What could he really learn from them dudes that's not used to winning or anything.
The one guy you can learn from is Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry, damn near in the door, out the door. He's 50-52. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
drop him too.
Like, you're going to
start all
that's
the way over.
That's why I would personally not do those trades for those first round picks, because whatever young guys you get coming in there, they're coming in there to a house full of mad MFs. You get what I'm saying? Like.
Well, if you get rid of all of them, and now you only have some young kids who are all hungry. Kareem Hunt, he's already had his problems. Get him out of the locker room. If you get rid of Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry, all your old heads are gone. Yeah. Now you got a young, hungry team playing to get big contracts. I think maybe that sounds helpful to me too.
I think, yeah.
And you could probably get a second to a third round pick for Landry.
Everything you're saying, I will agree with you after next football season.
Okay,
but
I feel you.
For right now, you can't pull the plug on those guys after 1 year. And the new coach coming in. So say like if I'm mad all year, like, F this coach, F this team, then the coach gets canned and they bring a new coach. Now I'm kind of like, all right, let me see what he's going to bring to the table. Because last year, it was crazy.
This is true.
So now this year, I'm coming in with a whole different mindset. I'm excited for my first day of school. You excited to get in there, see who your teacher is. And then depending on that vibe that you get with that teacher, you could be, boom, knee deep in, or you could be like, I don't mess with this teacher, man.
This is true.
You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm looking at the situation more so, because I thought about it like, yeah, they need to get rid of this guy. But it's like, okay, but you got rid of the coach. Normally, teams get rid of players before they get rid of a coach. Yeah. This team got rid of their coach before they got rid of any one player.
So, yeah, a new coach could turn the whole thing around.
So, you already showed your sign that, okay, I'm going with the players on this one over the coach, because you got rid of them.
Yeah.
You didn't get rid of you didn't cut nobody else. You cut the coach first before you cut any one player. So, it's like you showed that GM, that owner already showed us, the football fans, that he's moving on. You get what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So it's a little different.
I have to be honest about one thing. I kind of want Kareem Hunt to be traded, because I want him to be traded to a team he could be the starter for fantasy value.
Absolutely.
His fantasy stock jumps if he goes to a different team.
I really like Kareem Hunt. I think he always was one of the top backs in the league and still is to this day.
Yeah.
Because some of the things he does, he's just so elusive. But like you said, playing second fiddle, it's tough. But
I just want him to
go to any
team.
To
have high fantasy value, man.
Absolutely, but it might not happen this year for you. You might be looking at the 2021, 22 season or something like that.
Yeah, probably. All right, let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams. They make it to the Super Bowl, and then they don't make the playoffs. What needs to happen for this team to make a run at the playoffs and possibly Super Bowl contention this year?
Well, if I'm, the GM of them, the Rams, I'm scared right now. I'm scared because of the simple fact is, I'm looking at a team like the Atlanta Falcons. And they made it to the Super Bowl and haven't been right since.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do that same formula. So I give it to them. Yeah, this year we were Super Bowl hungover. Okay, cool. Now I got to see what we're going to do this year. Other than that, ships sinking, ships crash. I'm shipping everybody out.
Yeah.
But it could be, because we saw this before. That's all I'm saying. We saw this before, so it could just be a Super Bowl hangover. Don't let it be a 2-year Super Bowl hangover.
Is McAvoy like a one-hit wonder? Sean McVay, not McAvoy. Is Sean McVay a one-hit wonder? Did he have just 1 year as a great coach?
I wouldn't say that, because he's been around the game. Even though he's young, he's been around the game for a long time.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say he's like a one-hit wonder, but I could say that if that's the case, there's a lot of one-hit wonders, because a lot of people, a couple of those coaches made it to the Super Bowl and never been right since.
Yeah.
As we see in Atlanta with their ownership, with their coaches been shipped around and all this stuff like that. But then look at it. Atlanta, for instance, then they get rid of Shanahan. Shanahan goes to San Fran, and then they go to Super Bowl. So what is it? Is it the organization aspect? Is it the coach? Is it the certain situations like that you just don't know, because the deeper you look into it, the deeper you get confused, because there's no right answer. There's no right or wrong answer in this situation. Okay. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I like the fact that they add Jalen Ramsey.
Absolutely.
But then they let go of Marcus Peters. So now who's going to be their secondary corner? I mean, they have all the same weapons. You know what I'm saying? Last year they had everything they had the year before, and then halfway through the season they get Jalen Ramsey. So you made your defense even better. For me, it feels like maybe there's a coaching issue, because you have all the same pieces. There's no reason why you should have not made the playoffs.
Yeah, but we saw that, though. We saw that, again, with Shanahan. Shanahan
Atlanta
didn't make the playoffs after giving up a 24-point lead in the Super Bowl. You get what I'm saying?
True, but that's because he went to San Fran, and San Fran's team was terrible. They had a terrible season, and then he built them up, and he got him to the Super Bowl.
So why pull the plug that quick? You get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you got to let some things run its course.
Yeah, let it marinate.
Let it run its course, and then you figure out what you're going to do from there. Sometimes you pull the plug too early. You get rid of a good coach like Shanahan, and you think it was the coaching. No, it's not the coaching, because he went somewhere else and made it to the same spot and did the same thing he did.
Well, I don't think. See, that's the difference, though. They didn't get rid of Shanahan. Shanahan was offensive coordinator, and San Fran hired him as the head coach. So, like, Atlanta would have probably kept him. Yeah.
The thing about in Atlanta, if you was out there, Shanahan was the next up for that head coach.
Yeah, he should have got the head coach.
He should have got the head coach after that Super Bowl run. He should have got the head coaching job, and then that's why he left. So it's like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he felt like he got played, in other words, and I totally agree with that. So.
All right, well, let's move on to the next team. Team I've been waiting to talk about is Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay has everything you could hope for on a team. They've got two high-level wide receivers. They've got they got a team, a tag team of tight ends that are drool-worthy, in my opinion. And they've got a run game that's actually kind of finding its own. It found its own. Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber, they kind of found their way this season. They were looking good. The only thing they're missing, to me, is the clutch all-star quarterback. And I said, for me, that's Teddy Bridgewater. What do you think?
I think personally, I think they should keep Jameson Winston over there.
As the starter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like Bruce Arians is supposed to be the quarterback guru of the NFL.
QB whisperer.
So whisper to Jameson Winston to get him better. That's how I feel.
Okay.
I feel like, why pull the plug on something when his numbers is there? You see the stats is there. Interceptions is really high. So you need to have him work on pocket presence. Like, you're a QB guru. So be a guru to this young man and help him out to make your team a lot better than what it is. And that way you don't have to focus on the QB position and you can spend money elsewhere. So, and then you also have Brian Leftwich over there as the offensive coordinator, who's another quarterback of the NFL. Why can't nobody help this man? Why can't nobody focus on his pocket presence and him throwing interception? I already know, like, sometimes you can make bad decisions at quarterback, but the harder you work, we just saw it with what's his name? Baltimore Ravens.
Lamar Jackson.
We just saw with Lamar Jackson on how he got better over a 1 year span.
Yeah, significantly better.
Yeah, with hard work and whoever was training him. This the same thing needs to happen with Jameson Winston. Whereas train him all summer.
One huge, gigantic difference between those two quarterbacks is their ego. I mean, Lamar Jackson is a humble sponge, and Jameis Winston is like a full glass of water.
But I understand you with that, but at the end of the day, like, so with Jameson Winston, it's like, as a coach, as a GM, you have to tell him, put up or shut up. Like, I'm going to train you every day to get better. If I feel like your progress ain't improving, you're gone. If I feel like your progress is improving, you stay. But at the end of the day, if you're a QB whisperer, you have to do something with that QB. No matter what his ego is, if he's supposed to be the face of your team as a quarterback, then you have to try to figure it out and try to do something with him. So I just feel like, try him out, work with him.
Yeah.
You're a QB whisperer. Do that. You got Brian Leftwich, who was like a running quarterback, but bigger size.
Yeah.
Work with them. And maybe he can make your team better and make you better. But for the time being right now, it's just tough because they're not getting the job done over there. And they got too many good coaches and too much of a good team not to get the job done.
I agree. So we'll see what happens with them. Next on the list is the ever so completely disappointing Chicago Bears.
I don't even have to comment on this one. You already know my answer.
I mean,
what I've been saying all year.
Is it just get rid of Mitchell?
Yes.
Mitchell Trubisky's out, bring someone else in, and we have a better team.
I would go out there and do Craig's move. If I'm the GM of Chicago, I'm doing Craig's move. I'm going to get an older quarterback, a rookie quarterback, bring them in. You already try to go with that guy. Get rid of him. You already went with a young quarterback. He didn't develop, so bring in an older quarterback and a younger quarterback so the younger quarterback can develop under the older quarterback, and then he could be okay. Your defense only gives up 14, 15 points a game, so you ain't got to worry about too much on that aspect. Yep. You just got to worry about just scoring. So go get you a QB.
Do we bring in Phillip Rivers?
He'd be good over there. That's a team that he could be good at.
If you're going to move on from Mitchell Trubisky, I like the idea of bringing in Phillip Rivers.
The only way I'm bringing in Phillip Rivers is if I have another young quarterback in my mind that's going there with him.
Like I'm not just bringing in young guy.
I'm not just bringing him in like, yo, this is your 3 to 5 year plan, because that's not where I'm going with it. Yeah. It will be, this is your 1 year deal plan.
I might even give him 2 years.
Maybe 2 years. I'll give him
I
two.
can trade him like halfway through the season.
Two, because over there he can bring his value up too. Yeah. So because you got to think about it, when you have a defense that great, all you have to do as a quarterback is score. You're going to look great. Yeah. Because the score could be 28-0. Now, the defense stopped them. They might have got the ball over the 50. The defense stopped them all game. 17-0, whatever, as long as you're scoring. Because the defense is going to do their part. They just need a quarterback that can come in and do their part.
Exactly.
You know, that gets exhausting when you're just one-sided, when you're just a defense out there stopping everything. Defenses bend, but eventually they don't break. But if you keep on bending them, they're going to break.
Yeah, they're going to break.
And that's what happens.
Especially when it's a team like for instance, I feel like Tampa Bay's defense might have been a little underrated because of the fact that
they had a great defense.
They did.
Yes.
But they were broken by the interceptions being thrown inside of the 50-yard line.
Always, every time, I would say a good 75% of Jameson Winston's interceptions, turnovers came like in perfect field position for the opposing team. Whether they picked the scoop and score, whether it was a pick six, whether they got the ball on their own 20-yard line. So those are all points included, and that doesn't make you look good. Now, when you have a game where a team loses on 3 field goals, 9-0, what's the issue there? It's not the defense.
No.
Because the defense stopped them to 3 field goals.
Yeah.
It's that offense. And we saw that one too many times with Chicago, whereas we watched them play 4 to 5 games this year where they only scored by field goals. I was giving damn near every 2 to 3 weeks, I was giving their kicker MVPs.
Right.
Because he was going 6 out of 6 field goals and they win 12-10. Like, you get what I'm saying?
It's
like,
crazy. It is crazy.
It's crazy, and that's what you're missing. If you can't see that you're missing a quarterback, then you're Stevie Wonder, because
I agree
that's
with you,
the
man.
only position.
I
don't know.
I like Trubisky after his first season, but last year he was absolutely abysmal. Like, it's time you got to move. Like, you got to move on from him. I think so. I think he's a backup. All right, and then finally, Dallas Cowboys.
We already know. With Dallas, there's a lot of questions because.
See, I just think that the Dallas Cowboys I think their defense sucks.
I totally agree with that, but the reason why I started off with there's a lot of questions because we don't know what they're doing with their team. You know, if you lose somebody like Amari Cooper, I'm not focused on defense now because I'm about to sign this guy for $105 million. I got to bring in some offensive guys to help this guy who I just paid.
Absolutely,
100%. If I keep Amari Cooper, now let me focus on my defense and dump money over to my defense because my offense is already set, legit. They're already in the system. My line's one of the top in the league. My running back's one of the top in the league. My receiving core is probably top 10 in the league. I'm good on the offense side of things.
Yep.
If you keep those guys,
if you keep those guys,
but depending on what happens in that situation, depend on which way Dallas should go.
Yeah.
You know? Get that.
And if they keep Amari Cooper and Dak, their defense is going to get worse because they're not going to be able to sign Byron Jones. So now your defense takes an even deeper step down.
But then you can just go and try to get some free agents or try to get some young guys that you can throw cheap money at.
I feel like the 2 biggest question marks in the league is Dallas Cowboys, New England Patriots. Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen until those two quarterbacks make their choice or the team makes their choice. You know, it's crazy. But Dallas Cowboys, man, I feel like they're one of the teams with the most potential to make it back and make it to a Super Bowl. And I think that the biggest move that they made was the change of coach. We talked about it all year long. I was ranting and raving about the fact that Jason Garrett needed to be fired, and they finally parted ways with him, and now they got Mike McCarthy. I like that decision, and I don't like that decision at the same time, but I think it's better, way better than Jason Garrett.
I like that Mike McCarthy because it's like, that was the best available option for you at the time.
Yeah, exactly. So best available option.
That's why I don't mind the pick because, like you said, McCarthy's 50-50, but that's your best.
He did win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's your best available option. Go with him.
Yeah.
I'm always go with the best available person at the time. So,
All right, let's knock out some of these, some little news updates. So for the Hall of Fame game, to start the season, Steelers play the Cowboys. To me, that sounds weird. I feel like, last year it was Bears versus Chicago.
For the 100th anniversary game.
Yeah, the 100th anniversary game. I felt like it should have been a divisional matchup.
Yeah. I think it's more so more so every year they do it more like randomly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like set up or anything previous
So
years.
it's usually just random, but last year they made it specifically
last
for the
year
100.
that's why they made it like that, because that was the first game ever played.
Yeah.
So that's why they wanted to open up the NFL season with that being the 100th year. But I think it's just more so random. It's just a scrimmage anyways. It's nothing like, we're not gonna see
it's not
too
a
much.
regular. It's just a preseason game.
Yeah, but I like those two teams because those two teams got question marks too. Like we saying, Cowboys have the biggest question mark, and Pittsburgh is trying to find themselves within trying to add on players, get rid of players to make that offense a better offense and that defense a better defense. So I think that would be good because those two teams is two teams that we'll be watching throughout the preseason to see who's jumping who.
And they both have QB questions because is Ben Roethlisberger really ready to go? Is Dak Prescott going to sign?
So those are the competition teams. Whereas if you go to that team, if you get picked up by the Steelers, Cowboys, Patriots, those are teams you want to watch this year in preseason because there's going to be guys really trying to ball and open up coaches' eyes because they know that this position's open.
Nice. All right, the kicker for Houston, Fairbairn, gets a 4-year, $17.65 million deal with $9 million guaranteed. I love this move.
I love that.
Fairbairn is a top 5 kicker. I feel like you paid a good price for him. $9 million guaranteed. Kickers don't really get injured like that. So,
and not to mention, this past season, kickers was horrible.
Yes. So when you got someone as consistent as Fairbairn, I think you got to sign him.
What team went through 7 or 8 kickers this year?
Oh man, what team was
it? Chicago?
I don't know if it was Chicago.
It was one of those teams. They had a new kicker every week.
I think.
Or the Panthers?
No, because the Panthers had their Gino. Graham Gano. Graham Gano got injured, and then they went with Slay.
Okay.
They had Slay all year long. I don't know if Washington had the same kicker all year. I don't know. I don't remember who Tampa Bay's kicker was, but I know you're right. I almost want to say it was the Chargers.
Maybe it was one of those teams.
And someone went through kickers all year long. Some interesting news is Baltimore is shopping around backup quarterback RG3.
As they should.
Yeah, and then you know what? I don't know if I agree with that. An offensive lineman, Gabe Jackson. I think RG3 is your perfect backup.
I think he's your perfect backup, but in the time how you just saw what your quarterback just did and how much he progressed, you put in all your marbles in him, trust and believe they're going to go out there and get another backup. But they can get a lot of value for him because, like we're saying.
Do you think so? Because if I me,
he could be a good caliber backup somewhere else. You get what I'm saying?
I don't even think I think he's a okay, at least we have a backup. RG3 to me is no longer a hypothetically speaking, if the Patriots got him for $1 million a year for 3 years, I wouldn't be like, yo, we got RG3 as our backup. Because when RG3 comes in, you're like, man, what is he gonna do?
And that's the thing about RG3 that kills him is that you don't know what he's gonna do. He can go out there and have the game of his life, or he can go out there and have the worst game. So, but RG3 is a backup quarterback, and to see him still in the league is pretty impressive. But Baltimore's probably feeling like how I said, why have RG3 getting good money as a backup?
Is he? Is he getting good money?
I don't know. That's the only reason why I can say.
Look, because I wouldn't be paying RG3 more than like $2-3 million a year.
You got to see his contract.
I'm gonna look for it,
that's
but
the only way I would say like.
I feel like RG3 gives you like in some way, shape, or form, like in a poor man's fashion, he gives you a seamless transition. Hypothetically speaking, Lamar Jackson's out one game with a high ankle sprain, and RG3 has to come in for one game, maybe two. Like he can perform in those games, and it would be a very similar game as if Lamar Jackson was there. It's not going to be as great. It might not have as many highlight reels, but it's going to be a similar game. So, and then offensive lineman Gabe Jackson also being shopped around, so that's interesting. And then next, another piece of news that I actually like is Kyle Allen for the Carolina Panthers gets a 1-year deal. So they're committing to him as their backup, or they're giving him trade value. What do you think?
I like that. I like giving him that 1-year deal. Make it work.
All right, so RG3 with the Baltimore Ravens has a 2-year contract worth $4.5 million. He signed with a 1-year deal worth $1 million in April, but he got the extension for the 2 years, $4.5. So they've got him for less than $2.5 million a year. Why would you want it? I wouldn't trade RG3, man. I'd keep him. So, but I do like Kyle Allen getting signed, whether it's so you can try and trade him and keep Will Grier as your backup because you're going to go with Cam, or because if Cam gets hurt, you want to make sure this guy's locked in. Yep. One way or another, I like this. The Browns offensive lineman J.C. Tretter was elected president of the NFL Players Association. He beat out some linebacker from another team, but I don't know anything about that. I just know that he's the elected president.
That just means like player association, everything goes through them.
It's like the union. He's the president of the union.
That's where you put it.
Los Angeles Chargers and Baltimore Ravens put in a request for the CBA rule changes to have a sky judge official. I think everybody who loves football has been waiting for the sky judge. I think that's a way to be more accurate with play calling. Fouls called.
Yeah, I agree, but it's to the point where it's like so much things has happened to the point they're just taking away from the game. Like, are we gonna have an instant replay every other play, stuff like that?
They already do that.
I know, but it's just getting to be a little bit too much. Like, just go play football, man. Like,
and I think the sky judge would allow that, though. I think the sky judge would allow for.
You're still gonna have your BS calls on the field. You're still gonna complain about Russ being fined. Yeah. So what's gonna change? Now you're just gonna say, hey, the field judge should be charged. He should be fined more because he can see better than the guys on the field. That's gonna be a new thing. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
Judge is the camera. What's going on here?
So you're gonna be like, hey, you're in the sky. I'm finding the camera. You don't care?
Yeah.
You're gonna be mad anyway.
I'm gonna be mad.
It don't matter. Just one bad call, you're gonna be mad. So
we need robots. We need robots out there making calls.
That's gonna be next.
But then the collective of the 4 teams, the Chargers, Baltimore, Philly, and Miami, have all collectively put in requests for additional rule changes. One of the biggest ones that I'm a fan of is for the overtime rules. They want no more ties, and I don't know how this hasn't already become a thing. I feel like is football the only sport that can end in a tie anymore?
Well, here's the thing: they changed the rules just recently to that it can end in a tie, because before in overtime, it used to be whereas they make you just keep going for it, but they stopped it. And NFL-wise, they stopped it. Yeah.
I think you know what I'd like to see.
It's like a newer rule. People don't even understand that because you really see overtime in NFL. That really, like, you've been seeing it a lot lately, but growing up, we never saw that.
I've never seen.
Those rules wasn't really effective until like the last few years, really.
My personal opinion is that you do one overtime, 15 minutes. Nobody scores, or they both teams score a field goal, time runs out. Then you put the ball on the 20-yard line. Kickers kick field goals, and they move back 10 yards until somebody misses.
Well, I would like the other way better. Like, that's kind of how they do it in, like, Pop Warner in high school. Mm-hmm. They do, like, a 10-yard dogfight, or, in your case, 20-yard dogfight, whereas you got 4 downs to score. If you don't score, the next team got 4 downs to score. Whoever scores first wins. like in that situation.
And
it's the same thing you're saying, but
yeah.
you're saying field goal will kick it from the 20, then back them up 10 to the 30, boom.
Yeah.
You start the ball at the 25-yard line. Like in college football, you start off on the 25-yard line,
yeah.
boom. Like I'll break it down for college. I get the ball at the 25-yard line, I score. You get the ball at the 25-yard line, you score. I get the ball at the 25-yard line, I score, then you score. We both score twice. Now it's to the point where whoever scores next has to go for 2. That's how it is in college. Once you score twice in college, then your third time in the third overtime will be considered the third overtime. You have to go for 2 if you score. You get what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah, that's how it is in college.
That could be exciting as well.
That's a college rule.
That could be exciting.
You get the ball on the 25-yard lines. You got 4 downs to score. They give you 1 timeout probably, 4 downs to score. If you don't, you can kick a field goal too.
Yeah.
Because it's always good if you get the ball second because you get to see what the person did first. And you can kick a field goal, you score. And then after 2 times of scoring, you gotta
go for the 2.
You got to go for the 2.
Okay. All right. Well, there it is. They also want to change the onside kick rule, and this is another rule I like. The team that would be kicking, the team that scored the touchdown, who would be kicking the onside kick, instead of kicking the onside kick, they get it 4th and 15 at their own 25-yard line. So you got 1 play to get 25 yards, so you're back in the game, and then still have to drive the ball down the field to score. I kind of like that because with the rules of onside kicking, it's pretty much impossible to recover an onside kick. So we'll see what happens there. The NFL moved the franchise tag day to Monday to give players teams more time.
I think that's BS.
I do too.
They just moved it just to see what's going to happen with the NFLPA on a Saturday or Sunday.
That's exactly what it is. But, so they moved it, and we'll see what happens with that. The league also handed out all the compensatory picks for the season. New England getting a league-high 4 compensatory picks, 2 in the 3rd and 2 in the 6th round, giving the Patriots 3 third-round draft picks, and I think that's the round where the Patriots definitely shine is in the 3rd round. So having 3 picks in that round, either we're gonna get some nice players or we're gonna trade up to get some even higher level caliber players. But it's exciting stuff. We're getting closer and closer to things happening. The draft's just over a month away. I can't wait for the draft. I'm super excited. Last year we had a lot of fun with it, and this year, I think, could be so many wide receivers. So many wide receivers.
Skill guys.
How many wide receivers, like over or under? How many wide receivers you think go in the 1st round?
First round, say 6.
6 wide receivers in the 1st round. Wow.
There's 6 of them worthy of it.
There are 6 of them.
But the thing about it is it's like,
and there's teams that need them.
I haven't really spoke about the draft because I can't speak about a team today and then tomorrow something's going to change right now.
Yeah.
Because everything's so up in the air. Like you don't know which direction, which team is going to take. There's a lot of like okay teams in the top 10 in draft picks.
Yeah.
That could just be like, you know what? I don't even need this. I'm going to just trade this off with this person. And like you said, maybe get a couple 2nd round and 3rd round picks.
Yeah.
They might be doing like a 1 trade pick for 3 or 4 picks in that draft. Like, there's so many moves that could be made, trades that can happen. Like, I think this is going to be one of the craziest NFL drafts ever. Due to the simple fact is, with all the openings in the NFL teams and all the teams and acting like they're in dire need of quarterbacks and stuff like that, I think some teams is going to make bad mistakes. Some teams is going to pick up off those bad mistakes and make really, really good moves. So if I'm a GM, I'm just sitting back, chilling, letting everybody spill their beans out, and I'm just sit back and chill and come in and do a tornado and surprise everybody. Because it's like, it's so open this year. Like, the draft is really, really open.
It really is open. It really is open. A lot of teams got a lot. I mean, I think Jaguars and Miami have 3 first-round draft picks. To me, that's crazy.
But the thing is, those teams could utilize them and get rid of them.
Or get rid of them, yeah. They could trade for some players.
Or I could be like, hey, here's Tom Brady.
Or they could
like, hey, here's Tom Brady at you. Let me get that first-round pick.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know if a player's getting traded for those picks. You don't know
if other picks are getting for those picks. Let me ask you a question because we're about to be done. In your opinion, will Tom Brady be a Patriot 2020 season?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah. It's like this. It's like I told you this when it first came out. Like, he should be doing this. He should be testing the market just to see where his worth
Correct.
is. He's already took many and many of the pay cuts for the Patriots and stuff like that.
Yep.
At this time, normally Tom is the most unselfish player ever. But at this day and age, at his age, he has to be selfish now.
Yep.
And this is the one time that you're going to see him be selfish in order to get paid, because this is going to be his last payday.
Yep.
So, yes, shop yourself around. See where you can get a payday from, and go get that payday because you're deserving of it. You're worthy of it. You get what I'm saying?
You heard it here, Tom. Go get your money.
Go get your money.
All right, that's all the time we have for you today. Check out our show, Gym Bag Entertainment, on YouTube. Until next week, we'll see you in the end zone. Have a good night.